Okay, Kamari. We've done a couple of lessons about equivalent fractions and how you can show equivalent fractions with pictures. So for example, like let's say we have the fraction 1/4, and you can show that fraction like this by making a rectangle, splitting it into 4 parts, and then coloring one of the parts, and that shows 1/4, right? Well, then you can show an equivalent fraction by making 1/4 again. Here's 1/4, and you could create different fraction by changing the number of parts. Now you can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts, and 2 of them are colored now. But you notice the amount that's colored in has not changed. It's the same here and here. So we can see that 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. And we could also maybe do this. Let's make 1/4 again. Color it in, and we could separate it like this. And now we've made 3, 6, 9, 12 parts, and 3 of them are shaded in. And again, same amounts colored in, so 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12, right? Well, I want you to notice something. If you look here, what we basically did was we took the number of parts and we multiplied it by 2, right? We had 4 parts, and when we made this line, we basically took each part and made it 2 parts. So all 4 parts have now become 8 parts. And then the 1 part that was colored, it's now 2 parts. You could say that you multiplied both of those numbers by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And look down here. Well, we took 1 part and made it into 3, so we multiplied by 3. So we had just 1 part colored. Now there's 3 parts. 1 times 3 is 3. And there were 4 parts, but now there's 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So what I want you to notice is that there's another way to create equivalent fractions. Instead of just using the pictures, you can just use multiplication. All right. And the key is you multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. All right. Here we multiplied them both by 2. Here we multiplied them both by 3. If we wanted to multiply both by 4, we would get 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4/16. That's another fraction that's equivalent to 1/4. And we don't need a picture to prove it because we know as long as we multiply both numerator and the denominator by the same number, we will get an equivalent fraction. And just to prove it, let's go ahead and do this. Here's 1/4. And we got to multiply the parts by 4 now, right? So how about we double it like that first, and then we just multiply it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And 1/4 of those 16 are shaded in. So it shows that 1/4 multiplied by 4 and 4 is 4/16. So you could take 1/4 and multiply anything, any one of these. If you multiply both by 5, you'll get 5/20, right? That's equivalent to 1/4. If you multiply 1/4, but both of them by 8, well, you'll get 8/32. That's equivalent to 1/4. Any number you could choose. We can multiply them both by 12. That's 12/48. That's equivalent to 1/4. All these are equivalent to 1/4, all right? So basically, you can create an equivalent fraction just by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So let's say we have the fraction 3/5. I can create equivalent fractions just by multiplying numerator and denominator by the same thing. Let's say I multiply them both by 4. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 4 is 20. So 12/20 is equivalent to 3/5. If I made pictures, it would prove that I could make pictures to prove that 12/20 is equivalent to 3/5, but I don't need to. This multiplication here proves that it's equivalent. I could do, if I want to multiply both by 5, 3 times 5 is 15, 5 times 5 is 25. 15/25, that's equivalent to 3/5. So hopefully you're getting the point, is that anytime you take a fraction and just multiply numerator and the denominator by the same number, you're going to get an equivalent fraction. So there is an assignment in Seesaw for you to work on creating equivalent fractions. And you'll see the title of it. It says generate equivalent fractions with different strategies, or using different strategies. And I want you to copy down a group of fractions in your notebook and then either use pictures or multiplication, your choice, to create 2 equivalent fractions. Like I said, you can use pictures like this, like that. Whoops, can't see it. Like this. You can use pictures like this, or you could just use multiplication like that. It's up to you. Okay, so check out that assignment in Seesaw. Do your best on it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next Wednesday in school. Be a lot better than trying to do it this way, right? All right. Go ahead and work on that math assignment.